So maybe you've been doing the Wim Hof method for a while now, or perhaps you're brand new. But either way, you're not getting the expected results, or you're just not getting the expected state, the benefits that you thought you may get. Well, let me talk you through the 3 most common mistakes people typically make when doing the Wim Hof method, right? Super common and very easy fixes too. So we'll get moving with number 1. Alright, so reason number 1 is that you are not breathing properly. A lot of people will do shallow breathing, or maybe they won't be breathing with a full cycle. Now, while I talk about this, imagine your body as a part of a circuit, right? You've got kind of the head here in the nose where the air enters and exits. You've got the chest and you've got the stomach. Right? Now, when doing deep breathing, a lot of people typically just breathe into the chest. So they breathe in all the way into the chest, and then back out, and they let the breath fall out, right? Now, this can be a little bit of a tricky one because yes, you are breathing, but no, you're not breathing fully in the correct cycle. So when breathing, what you're meant to do, of course, is breathe in through the nose, as opposed to the mouth. Neither are too bad, but there are kind of these sensors, if you want to imagine, in the nose that allow more nitric oxide, I believe, to be released into the bloodstream, which helps the vasodilation of the blood vessels, helps them expand more blood flow, more oxygen, stuff like that. So essentially breathing in through the nose, into the stomach, and then allowing the chest to expand, and then breathing out without forcing anything. That's essentially how the cycle should be when breathing for the Wim Hof method. So essentially, rather than just into the chest, and then back out, you're breathing in through the nose to the stomach to the chest. So you're going, see that? So I'm breathing into the stomach first, then the chest, and then allowing it to kind of fall out. Of course, you're not really breathing into the stomach. You're just getting kind of better diaphragm and kind of intercostal muscle. The muscles that allow the breathing to take place, you're getting better activation of that by breathing into the stomach. But that's essentially the breathing you should be doing there. And then breathing out, do not breathe it out fast, nice and steady. And that is number 1. All right, I want to call reason number 2 is expectations. You're expecting to feel something, therefore you won't, right? Now, you have to keep in mind that this is a breathing technique based off a lot of that. I don't know how Wim Hof may have came about discovering it himself, but there's a lot of Vedic principles from old kind of Hinduism and Vedic texts there, yogic practices. And so with this, while yes, it's very physiological, there's a lot going on in the body when you're breathing and doing these things. It's also a type of meditation, right? You have to have a clear mind, which the cold exposure helps you do. That's the one thing Wim Hof really talks about there. The main thing is about having it clear your mind and being in a state of pure thoughts, or I guess pure reduction of thoughts. You can't think about too much. So when you are trying to do these breathing methods and do the Wim Hof methods in a way where you expect to feel something. Many people, for example, will expect to feel tingling and electric throughout their whole body, like they might have when they first tried it. You can almost turn it off, if you get me. It's similar to like if you're trying to sleep, right? You know when you try to sleep and you think, right, I really need to sleep now, I'm really going to sleep. You're not going to sleep, at least I don't. I end up putting myself off. So you don't want to disrupt the state you're currently in, so just allow things to happen. So many people say when they do the Wim Hof method for a while, that initial tingling and static throughout their body they got from the breathing no longer happens as easily. So it may just be a case of having to a few more cycles. But there's nothing wrong with that. You've just adapted and grown through the practice. So stop chasing expectations with calamity, with tingling, with the feeling with cold exposure. Treat it as a practice for what it is in almost a Zen philosophy way. Do it for doing it, rather than trying to get results of X, Y, and Z, trying to hold your breath for longer, trying to do this, trying to do that. And through doing so, you'll get a lot more benefit out of the practice, out of the method. It's the exact same thing I learned from Buddhism when I was doing loads of meditation with that. And the whole idea is, do not try and clear your head of thoughts. Simply allow the thoughts to arise and allow them to go. because if you try to stop thinking about things, then you'll think about things more and you'll resist more. Just allow the practice to be a practice in itself and enjoy the process for what it is, and you'll get the best results with that. And then my third and final tip is going to be overexposure. Actually, no, not overexposure, adaptation, right? A lot of people when they first start the Wim Hof Method, like me, would have just been getting in cold showers, right? And initially you get in and your breathing seizes up and you're like tensing and it's horrible. But then after 30, maybe 60 days, a cold shower feels completely normal. And you're thinking, damn, well, I'm craving something more, or I'm just not getting what I once was from this. Again, you should not be chasing expectations, but you may just need to adapt and progress and overload. Just like we do with weights or with resistance training, push-ups, stuff like that. Your body needs a new stimulus to progress. If you think about it, you getting into the cold shower initially was enough to get your body adapting. It was enough to get that cold response. But if your body's adapted in the way that you're now getting more blood flow, more immune response from just having the cold showers, then you're going to need a little bit more to push it a little bit further. That makes sense. So if you've been having the same stimulus for a while, try changing it up. If you do loads of cold showers, maybe try an ice bath or just a cold bath. Something like that. If it's winter, perhaps you can go outside and do some snow angels in the snow. I'm not too sure, but use your best judgment. However, you may need a new stimulus, and changing these things up can be a big difference over time. I've noticed myself that I actually find ice baths to have better effect on my body, but they're easier for my mind. What I mean by that is if I submerge myself in an ice bath, then I feel the benefits of my body much more. My joints feel better, my muscles ache less, I'm red all over, just where the blood's kind of been flowing and everything in response to the cold. However, when I get a cold shower, I don't get the greatest physical response, but it's way harder for my mind because I'm in the shower and the water's over my front, and then I put it over my back. And while it's on my back, my front's warming up. So when I put the water back over my front, it's harder. Whereas with an ice bath, you just get in that once, there's that initial shock, and then you're fine, you're there. You adapt to it. So having these different stimulations and different ways of practicing the method could be a massive benefit to you. You've got to change up the method, change up the stimulus, and again, have fun with it. That's the essential thing. So look, nothing revolutionary, but 3 points which are fundamental and compounds, which I feel a lot of people may be missing. But yeah, essentially take those, of those what you will. They may help you, they may not, but fingers crossed they do, and you enjoy the process of the Wim Hof Method. I know I definitely am. Working my way towards now the end of my first set of 30 cold showers in a row every single day. First time I've gone this long. I've been doing the Wim Hof Method for years on and off, but I've never been consistent, as you may have seen from a previous video of mine. So I'm really finding the benefits now. And obviously these are things I've tried in the past before when I have gone more advanced with things. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. Any questions, please do leave them. I'm no Wim Hof instructor, by the way, at all. I'm just someone sharing my experience and things that I found helped me in the past. So until next time, have a lovely rest of your day and see you later.